All right, so today I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about testimonies. This is something that we've spent a lot of time doing, and today I wanted to run you guys through a few ways that you could DIY it yourself. I think so many businesses have great experiences, they have these amazing stories, and really what testimonies do is they allow you to build social proof, which becomes leverage in your marketing. And ultimately, I think it can be a really great tool for not only attracting new customers, but it can also really create momentum within your business as well, because these stories have power both internally and externally. So I'm going to walk you through a really simple way that we kind of create content for ourselves in ways that you can create content for yourself as well. So I'm going to try to make this as quick and as least technical as possible, and I'm going to stay more focused on the ideology and how you make this into a system and easy ways that you can do this as I talk you through this. So we're going to switch over to the screen now. So over here, we have a client testimonial that we've produced for ourselves. We have this gem, and this is in Adobe Premiere Pro. So this is an editing software that we use. There are plenty of other softwares that you could use to be able to do what we're talking about. And you don't necessarily have to do this in video, but we highly suggest it for a couple of reasons. You're looking at a highly polished video camera sort of situation here, but it doesn't always have to be this. Simply you could be spending some time recording on Zoom, and that would go just as far. The key thing that we're looking for is asking the right questions first and foremost, creating a safe and engaging environment for someone to answer those questions. And then 3, to be able to get the audio from this and video from this to be able to create a powerful testimony. So here's what's great. We've brought this in, we have the video and photo in here. And in Premiere Pro, they have this whole text-based editor over here, which allows you to get a transcript from this, which is going to be the audio. I'm going to rewind. I'm going to step back 1 second before this. We do lots of interviews, so we know how to ask the right questions to get the right response. So I wanted to show you guys our profitable testimonies questions. So this is a great place to start. We have this as a free lead magnet on our website. It's as a free bonus into our 3 layers to storytelling starter kit. And again, this bonus thing is the secret sauce to profitable testimonies. And we have a little how-to, some things, a lot of what I'm going to talk about here. But at the very bottom, here are our 8 essential questions that really get to the heart of a profitable testimony, not just a generic one. We're not looking for, oh, they're so great, it's high quality. Those are generic terms that don't really add any value or educate your audience. So a lot of these questions are rooted in transformative language. They're focused on, the problems you solved, the way you made them feel throughout this, how you removed hesitation and process. So if you have really great customers that have amazing stories, you can already go back and get this content from them. Just asking them for a simple 10 to 20 minute meeting, say, hey, I have a couple questions I want to ask you. You can use this as a framework. You can tweak them a little bit to make it more personal, but this is a great baseline, and this is where it really starts. So back over here to where the magic happens. You've conducted your interview, you have this amazing interview, you have these great answers. Say you're using Premiere Pro. You have this wonderful thing here where you can have all the transcript. You can click up here and you can export this to a text file. So it's over here. You can copy and paste all of this. So this isn't really helpful to us right now, but we can copy and paste this. I'm using Pages. You could use Microsoft Word or whatever, your notes, however you want to do this. But now I have a transcript here, and I've relabeled speaker 1 to be Brian and speaker 2 to be the director. So now I can easily scan through here and see what makes sense. And I just scanned through here and I bolded things that, I made things bold, the things that I liked. So I have 1 section here, 2 section here, 3 section here, 4th section down here, and then 5th section down here. And all I did was I took option 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that I listed there, and I copy and pasted them here, and then I edited this to still be authentic. I didn't change any words or change anything around with that. I just got rid of redundancies and made it sound more like a edited statement rather than just, talking conversation. There's a lot of no's, likes, things like that I took out of this. But this is the copywriting, highlighting what you like, putting them in here, and then editing these to be usable copy. Now, you can take this and you can put this on your website. You could also take this and you could edit your client and you could say, hey, here are our favorite 5 sound bites. Do we have, your endorsement to be able to sign off on this? Or would you mind copy and pasting one of these onto a Google review for us? So this is where you can start to actually generate the SEO and the rankings and things like that. However, we're going to take a step further, and we're talking about content creation today. So now we have these, and we can copy and paste these after we've done the editing. Now, I'm using Keynote. If you didn't have that, you could also use Microsoft Office's PowerPoint. It's kind of the same thing. But what I like about it is, outside of getting this one piece of content done, we're making a system now. So what I've done here is I have, this template that I've created. I've used our brand colors. I've used our brand text. I have this in here, so if I had a new client, I could rechange this in the future. And I've made a couple of different versions because I don't want all of our social to be the same. However, it could be the same. You could say every testimony, we're just going to do the simple layout. That's absolutely fine. I've done one with a image of our customer here, with his, soundbite here as well. There's some more design elements. There's brandings on there. I have a really simplistic one, which has nothing on it, that I can export out to use for video content, which we'll get into next. I have another one, another portrait here. I have a basic one as well. Then I have another version of this, and I have a really simplistic one. So I have 7 different options here that I can create content out of, and now I'm able to export these and use these in our social media. I have this formatted for 4x5, so taking up more retail space. I wanted to take up more space on Instagram in particular, Facebook as well, LinkedIn. But I'm trying to take up more space on that screen by going more vertical rather than 16:9 or something like that. So we have these compelling testimonies now. We have all this content, and I've exported it. And I have exported it into our Dropbox, so I have access to it, or our team has access to it. We have a content creation and testimony side of things. This is our client, and you can see in here all the final deliverables, are all throughout here. So that's wonderful. We have those things. Now, the other piece of that is really interesting is if we come back to our transcript. This is going to be the bonus section of this whole thing. I've kind of shown you the whole system right there. This is how you make compelling social content DIY without hiring someone like us, a designer, or anything like this, and just getting to collecting those stories. Now, I decided to grab a couple of these that I really liked. What I really love about Premiere Pro in this transcript is it gives me time codes. So I could say, oh, I love this time code here. Or I could come up and I could say, oh, that's a great one. I want to find this time code here. So something that I've done off of this time code is I've come back into Premiere Pro, and I've found those time codes, and I've chopped up 2 little sections here that I really love the soundbite. I've done some actual editing to this to make the video work. Now, I'm not going to waste any time and play a bunch of the content or anything like that, but I've essentially just found 2 sections that I really like, and I'm going to export those sections, and I'm going to bring them over to another software called Descript. Now, I love Premiere Pro, and you can do captions in Premiere Pro. I love doing my baseline editing in this, but Descript is really powerful because of the captioning software it has. So if we shift over here to Descript, I'm just going to kind of show you after I've exported those raw videos, I'm able to bring it in and get this great, and again, there's tutorials all over this stuff, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time showing anything other than the final product. What's amazing is I can edit by text, so even if I didn't get it perfect from Premiere Pro, I can make other edits here. I really like this. So, the text animation is all automatically done. You can get waveforms like I have here. And I'm able to kind of just look at this thing and see how it plays back. And I will play this section back here for a sec.
The big project we've kind of teamed up on is to create video content that really shows the community of the gym. It wasn't about looking
animating. It looks awesome. It says what we want to say.
You guys came in.
You get the idea here. Content creation. We've done this. Descript is used for adding the captions, the final design elements, and this is going to be fantastic for our social. But additionally, if we kind of look through here, we're able to categorize this, and we're able to repeat this process over and over again. We have this great piece right here. We have this great piece right here. We have a blank one, so I could have pulled that in and I could have put the text over top of that. Again, I didn't necessarily use it in this instance, but it's good to have these templates to where we can copy and paste this over and over again. Another one, great, fantastic, more simplistic. Here's a really simplistic one, which we did actually end up using this one for the video. I'll go down, we'll see that in a second. Here's another really basic one. Again, another super basic one. And then we get into the 2 pieces of video content.
If I didn't feel good in our initial meeting, I probably wouldn't have done anything, but it was the exact opposite. We spent a little time together. That was honestly the first time I got excited about
awesome.
what we were going to do.
And then I already showed you this one.
We've kind of teamed up on is...
So in wrapping this all up, I think one piece of this is just, it's a lot easier to make DIY content than what we think. I think it all starts with the questions. Those profitable testimony questions go a long way in getting the right responses. Once you have those right responses, you can take them into programs, pull out those transcripts, and then turn this into content. You can make this a lot more conversational when you're doing it through video, and there's still the ability to tweak these things, make them authentic, make them transformative, and then to turn this into a content machine. Now, obviously, it can feel like a lot of work, but if you start to create that system, it's something that you can outsource within your internal team, or you at least have the understanding when you're bringing in a partner like us, we can actually optimize that machine or make some of this content yourself and offload part of it to your internal team. We come in so often and we're focused on the final video deliverables, but there's all these other sound bites and pieces of content that you could pull out of this. So it's not so much about hiring someone and them doing everything or you doing everything in-house. We've really modeled our side of things to be a partnership where we can collaborate together and make content that's transformative. I hope this was helpful. My big goal with all these blogs and these videos is to really add that partnership piece, to really empower people to understand storytelling a lot better. These are trends and gimmicks and all that sort of stuff, but it's really about, understanding your story and using that story to make a positive influence on the people that you want to make an impact on. So, hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything else I can add in the comments.